And the same paper of PIDS reports that many teachers in the field report that their needs are not adequately met in terms of teaching learning materials or instructional materials that they need, as well as teaching the students
Sure.
better.
Ma'am, pero yung sa paper curriculum, tama naman po.
I
Oo.
would have to agree with Director Andaya that there is really a clear intent on the part of DepEd to include higher order thinking skills. But our friends from DepEd would also say that time and again, the teachers would say, eto na naman, meron na naman topic, seminar on higher order thinking skills. Meron na naman on art of questioning. Bakit ginagawa ng DepEd? Kasi lumalabas sa test results ng mga bata, hindi pa rin nila na de-demonstrate yung higher order thinking skills. Kaya paulit-ulit, ma'am, sa mga seminars ng DepEd, nagsasawa na yung ibang teachers. Pero meron ganong intent on the part of DepEd.
But in a way, ma'am, I guess siguro moving forward, mahirap po talaga baguhin yung nakasanayan na. But I guess ang sa akin is, how do we teach our new teachers or potential teachers, diba? So meron ho ba kayong convergence with CHED? I mean, showing them the results ng PISA, na baka kailangan pati yung curriculum natin o paano natin tinuturuan yung mga guru natin, kailangan din natin baguhin. May ganun ho bang usapin between DepEd and CHED?
Yusek, Attorney Malaluan.
Magandang umaga po, Your Honors. We miss you. Yun pong, baka po pag-ibahin yung sa curriculum, dun sa mga familiarization ng PISA exam, doon sa curriculum. So they were materials na produce bilang kasama sa paghahanda nung 2022 ay minap yung content knowledge nung PISA at yung ding curriculum ng Department of Education at nakikita yung mga content knowledge na yon na paksa ng PISA exam doon sa curriculum so they were able to map it except for just a few competencies that was not in the same year levels. So naandun sa curriculum yung content knowledge na paksa ng PISA, pero yung sa pamamaraan ng pagtuturo nito, yung learning resources na ginagamit ng Department of Education, pamamaraan ng pagtatanong at kakayahan ng mga guro, doon may gap at itong exposure ng mga guro at saka ng school leaders and school administrators dito sa panibagong international standards ng pag-deploy ng kaalaman na yon at pag-measure ng kaalaman na yon is a very important exposure that is needed by the education system as a whole, from policy, school management, learning resources. So napakalaki ng kailangang habulin at kung hindi magkakaroon ng participation sa assessments na ito, in fact, dahil sa katagalang hindi lumalahok sa ganitong pagsusulit, hindi talaga na-expose. In fact, kagaya ng binanggit, even the programs in teacher education are not able to keep up with this rapidly changing or evolution of competency standards at the international level.
Mr. Chairman, but in a way, para sa akin, good news na din na kahit papano, kumbaga, nung umpisahan natin, kasi nabanggit nyo nga parang may content, ano na ba kay placement or whatever. So, at least meron na tayong may naumpisahan na compared to mag-uumpisa pa lang, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Director Andaya.
Thank you, honorable senators. Good morning, everyone. I'm the currently the regional director of DepEd NCR, but I was once the director of the Bureau of Curriculum Development, where we reviewed the curriculum, and that's why we came up with the Matatag curriculum. But nowhere in the review did it come out that we focus on the lower level thinking skills. In fact, in the review, there were very important findings. Number one, that there were overlapping of competencies. Number two, that there were misplaced competencies, meaning competencies that should have been in grade 4 perhaps are in grade 7, something like that. And at the same time also, cognitive demand. There's high cognitive demand, meaning the curriculum has more, has leaned towards more higher order thinking skills than low level thinking skills. And that's what we addressed in the new curriculum. But that I would like to also point to what Yusek Malaluan mentioned, that we need to distinguish between curriculum, delivery, and assessment, because from our initial discussions, or even not initial, but in the discussions that we've had regarding PISA or even the National Achievement Test, it's just found out that our learners and even our teachers, okay, are not familiar with the types of tests that are given by PISA. It's borne by several of the observations we have made during the course of the discussion on international assessments po. Thank you.
All of us in this room agree that PISA is assessing or testing the right it's testing what our learners should be learning. Correct? Walang debate yan, no? There's no debate that PISA is testing what we should be teaching our children, no? And one of which is how to apply that knowledge. Correct? I think everyone agrees with that. So if everyone agrees with that, then where is the gap? Where is the gap now? Because we all agree that it's testing what our children should be learning, therefore what they should be applying. So where is the gap? Is the gap at the pre-service level, meaning the way our teachers are being taught in college and universities? Is it in our curriculum? Is it in the implementation of the curriculum? So I want to ask our experts. No? Anyone can answer, because Senator Binay pointed out a very good topic. Where's the gap then? No, tama kasi yung tinetesting eh. No? We all agree. But where is now the gap? Yes, Dr. Padilla, go ahead.
Hello. Thank you, Senator Gatchalian. In the field of education, there is such a thing that we call the intended curriculum, which is the curriculum on paper. Whether it is the pre-Matatag full-blown K-12 curriculum or the new Matatag curriculum. That's the intended curriculum on paper. And then there is the implemented curriculum. So how much of the curriculum has actually been implemented, and how by our teachers in the classroom? Then we go to assessment. That is the learned curriculum. How much of what was supposedly taught was learned? So the PISA results, as well as the CPLM from before, the grade 5, they show us what the learned curriculum is on the part of the kids. So there is the bigger question is what happens day to day in the classroom. So there is a question of delivery. And if we look at research here and in other countries, when we look at learning outcomes, inevitably, what has been shown as the biggest factor is the quality of instruction. And the quality of instruction is linked to teacher quality in terms of knowledge and competencies learned or acquired from pre-service education and in-service training. In fact, there's a very good study, there's a very good paper released by PIDS on teacher education, and if I may be allowed to read some of it, it actually looks at an adapted teacher pathway model that looks at what can be done in the pre-service phase and also in the in-service phase. And I quote, for pre-service, we need to attract potential teachers. So we have to select education students, those who would enroll in education as a degree. So that would mean a review of teacher policies as well and ensuring accessibility and affordability. So we have to ask ourselves, how do our TEIs, most of which are underperforming in the LET or have been for many years now underperforming in the LET, how do they screen possible education students? So included as well in the pre-service phase is developing those students. So that involves ensuring quality of TEI programs. So we look at TEIs, their programs, how they're delivered, even the quality of teacher educators like ourselves. And also included there is equipping teachers with theoretical, pedagogical, and 21st century skills. So there's a need to equip teachers, all those, the ones that are expected of teachers to teach our students, which our friends from NISMED have found to be lacking among teachers in the field. Now, if I may continue, in service, now we're talking about teachers in the field now, that would involve recruiting, certifying and hiring new teachers. How do we hire new teachers? Some teachers in the field still report that it's a matter of who you know. That's why I said some, okay? But it also behooves us to look at the LET. If you cannot teach in basic education schools without a licensure, without a license, then it's safe to assume that most of the teachers practicing in basic ed actually have license. They passed the LET. How come that does not translate to quality instruction and quality learning outcomes? And then the other one is retaining quality teachers, so that would involve supporting teacher needs. And the same paper of PIDS reports that many teachers in the field report that their needs are not adequately met in terms of teaching learning materials or instructional materials that they need, as well as teaching the students better. And these are all from the paper of the Philippine Institute for Development Studies, titled Embracing Challenges, Envisioning Solutions, Advancing Teacher Education and Development in the Philippines, by Sinsay Villanueva and the head himself, Orbeta Jr. December 2023, recently released.
Mr. Chairman. Ma'am, pero yung sa paper curriculum, tama naman po.
I would have to agree with Director Andaya that there is really a clear intent on the part of DepEd to include higher order thinking skills. But our friends from DepEd would also say that time and again, the teachers would say, eto na naman, meron na naman topic, seminar on higher order thinking skills. Meron na naman on art of questioning. Bakit ginagawa ng DepEd? Kasi lumalabas sa test results ng mga bata, hindi pa rin nila na de-demonstrate yung higher order thinking skills. Kaya paulit-ulit, ma'am, sa mga seminars ng DepEd, nagsasawa na yung ibang teachers. Pero meron ganong intent on the part of DepEd.
But in a way, ma'am, I guess siguro moving forward, mahirap po talaga baguhin yung nakasanayan na. But I guess ang sa akin is, how do we teach our new teachers or potential teachers, diba? So meron ho ba kayong convergence with CHED? I mean, showing them the results ng PISA, na baka kailangan pati yung curriculum natin o paano natin tinuturuan yung mga guru natin, kailangan din natin baguhin. May ganun ho bang usapin between DepEd and CHED?